And then they send you back to the waiting room, and then they call your name again, and it's this little room you go in where they show you what happens. They sit you down, and then they have this little table, and they show you the aspirator, I think they call it, and then they have a little model plastic, model of the female body or something, and they do a little demonstration, and they explain to you what to expect, what's going to happen, and I guess just to get you in the know of it, and they're completely comforting the whole time. They're like, it's okay, it's virtually pain free, and it's just sick. It's just sick. And when they finally called my name and took me down to the room to have it done, I just remember going down these stairs, going down this narrow staircase. So where they actually perform the abortions is like on this underground level. They walked me to this room and had me lay down on the table, and the doctor, quote, doctor, didn't even make eye contact with me. He didn't even look me in the eye. He didn't even talk to me. I don't blame him. I don't know how those people sleep at night. And the nurse held my hand the whole time, and I looked up, and I remember on the ceiling was a poster of Monet's water lilies. I just stared at that poster, and they give you a couple injections first. To numb you a little bit, I guess. I think they did. I still felt it. And then they do their thing. And you hear it, It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, it's gross, isn't it? It's kind of creepy, isn't it? Is this disturbing? This is what happens. This is how it is, And this isn't even the worst of it. This is like... I can't imagine what it's like for people who try to attempt it on their own and, in other countries. God only knows the horror, the various ways that babies are killed, I have the luxury of living in Dallas. I mean, I had it done I was probably spared a lot of so I held the nurse's hand the whole time, and it lasted about 10 minutes, I guess, and then she helped me sit up and get dressed, and then she led me into this room. It was all dimly lit and had cozy couches everywhere and magazines, and they brought me tea and cookies and wrapped me up in a blanket. So they're doing their best to these women clinics, they do their best to comfort the women and psychologically prepare them, and they also have what they call counseling options, available to you. It's like, in their mind, they really are making this, they're trying to do it the best they can. They're trying to kill these babies the very best they can, with the best conscience they can possibly do it in. And it's just disturbing. Things are never what they seem. This is a murder clinic. This is a slaughterhouse. Yet there's posters everywhere and a lot of pink and, tea and cookies, and it's just weird. It's just like the Twilight Zone. and they tell you, when you leave, they say you're going to be really hungry in a little while, so just eat all you can. And this is what a selfish young woman I was. This is actually where my thoughts were at the time. They asked me if I had any questions, and my question to them was, when will the nausea go away? That's what I wanted to know. That's what was on my mind. That's what I cared about, is because I'd been throwing up for the past 2 weeks or something. That's how I first when I first realized I was pregnant, is everything was fine. I was just in the shower one morning, and all I had was, I woke up and had a glass of milk, and then got in the shower, and I violently threw up the milk, and I was like, whoa, something's wrong if you're throwing out milk. And I just deep down knew, I just knew that he had got me pregnant. Actually, I had a feeling that night, the first night I met him, I had a feeling something happened. This is a little memory I have of one of my attempts to make peace with what I did. Was an attempt to make peace with him, and he never had anything against me. I mean, he actually wanted to stay together. I mean, we didn't even really know each other, though. This was like, you're 18. We never even really knew each other, but I remember I just felt this need to make peace with him, and I mean, to this day, I know what I did is, if I owe anyone anything on this earth, it's him, and there's nothing I can ever do. There's nothing I can ever do to make up for what I did. Why is all the attention just on the woman only? What about the men? What about the fathers of these children who are aborted? Do we even think about them? Do we even think about the men? I killed this man's unborn child. That's the reality. I can admit that. I'm big girl enough to say that. It's not all about me. I know what I did. And when I started in 1989, when I started, I slowly started dropping out of my college courses, and I started working more and more and more at this music store I was working at, and I ended up working there like full time. I basically started living there. So at Redbird Mall, Camelot Music, and my manager Barry, we got to be great friends, and we had a great crew, and it just got to where he just gave me a key, and I was there constantly opening and closing the store, and it got my mind off of everything, and it was a real oasis. I met a lot of really awesome people, and got to go to a lot of concerts for free, and it was great. Those days were great. But when I was working there,